I'm Marty Layton, and I'm a biomedical engineer first and foremost. It's what I've done for the last 29 years. I spent about 14 years in industry involved in design, R&D, test, and then ultimately in responsibility for manufacturing operations for medical devices. I love it all. I've been trained by FDA, and I worked for a notified body, TUV Product Service, for 8 years. In fact, for 8 years I was the executive director of U.S. operations for the medical division of TUV in the United States. While doing that, I spent a fair amount of time both in the States and in Munich and in Brussels attending the notified body meetings. I've seen how the European system works, and have helped many companies. But while I was with TUV and subsequent to working with TUV, I was also involved, and remain to this day, involved in standards development, international standards, ISO. I worked on ISO TC210, Working Group 1 and Working Group 4 from 1999 to 2004, when we delivered the ISO 13485 standard. ISO 13485, if none of you know, is a harmonized standard for medical device quality management systems, and it has to be employed by any medical device manufacturer that's seeking the CE mark. I am proud to say that I'm one of the co-authors of that standard, and in developing that standard and authoring that standard, worked alongside 50 other colleagues from around the world, all over Europe. So I'll go into a company that has the challenge of CE marking and help them establish all of the compliance necessary to achieve a successful audit with a notified body and to maintain their technical documentation files after that. I've done that with hundreds and hundreds of companies, both as a notified body and then subsequently as a consultant. The more difficult sides of this project or hurdles that we're going to have to overcome, I would say that since the material has a track record and is already in use in CE marked product, and since the application of this material as an implant is already known, I think that our only real hurdle is going to be in demonstrating through discussions of existing peer-reviewed documents and articles in scientific literature, and perhaps some human clinical trials, the efficacy of the product. I think it's a foregone conclusion that the product will be efficacious, and that there has been work done to date. So now it's just a matter of formalizing that within the requirements of the Medical Devices Directive. So we talked a little bit about hurdles. Here's something that would have been a hurdle, but it's not a hurdle anymore. We are going to benefit by our South African business partner. They're a major shareholder and the manufacturer of the core material of our device. And here's how we're going to benefit. Because they're manufacturer of the core material of our device, under normal circumstances, when a company is trying to attain the CE mark, they have a couple of things that they have to do. They've got to qualify the materials that they're using, and they have to qualify their source of supplies of their services and materials. Well, our business partner in South Africa has already attained the CE mark for this material in another application. And so they have a design technical documentation file for this. They've already got a CE mark on it. They've already got compliance with the Medical Devices Directive and the ISO 13485, which is an international quality standard for medical device manufacturers. And we're going to be able to piggyback, if you will, or integrate their quality system accomplishments with an independent quality system, that of AugmentRx, to achieve the CE mark for AugmentRx. And so, in effect, my job, or the job of QARA at AugmentRx, is actually made easier.